Maximalize it, part 2. Let's paint it, DIYs-by-dar. This is kind of where we left off on part 1. And now I have most of the leaves painted in. And what I need to do is get this background behind it to help that 3D pop. So I'm using the combo of brown, black in the chalk paint. And I'm using a technique called scumbling, where you just kind of roll that around and lighten it up. And when I was finished, I was happy. Everything looked very nice and was blended in. And we're going to go ahead and then we'll get along with the next part, which is finishing up a brown leaf and some acorns and a green leaf. Now remember, I painted these, based them all out with brown acrylic paint. I have acrylic paint, once again, brown with some yellow ochre in it, and I have it really watered down. And you can see kind of on those acorns above, when that dries, it's going to give it just a little bit of a different look. That paint kind of sucks down into those grooves. The same thing with the leaves. I'm using that same color I mixed up, and it does look a bit odd when you first put it on. I have a really old paintbrush that's seen better days, and it's just like my little spreading, scrubbing brush to get those colors in. And I did these leaves basically with 3 colors. So I want to go ahead and get a orange up on this leaf, and I am going to blend that in again. I did not hit record on the very last step. I did put some copper gilding wax on top of the leaves, and it just gave them a little bit more shine, which looked really, really nice. So we've got this little area is completed. I need it to dry so I can add some gilding wax. And then I am going to show you the green leaves. This technique is actually called underpainting, where you put a color that you want to show up through all of the ones you add on the top. You can see this is extremely watered down, as this orange is. And I am just going to go ahead and blend that right in the top to finish off the way that my leaf looks. And then remember, I did put some copper gilding wax on the top of all of my leaves. Well, we have all the leaves done. I am liking the back and the seat and the top. I need to do something with the side. So I found this stencil that was basically just sticks and made just a little bit more brown color with chalk paints. And I decided to put in a series of these small sticks all over in the background. That wasn't quite enough. I still needed a little bit more, so I found another stencil that just had some leaves on it, and I used some gold acrylic master's touch. And with a stencil brush, swirly twirly, I'm going to go ahead and get all these leaves in and see if I like that little combination. And it's gold, so it's glaring a bit, so I had to get it out of the light, but I like it. It looks really nice. Remember that problem? I have to match that paper. Well, you can see right there, I have an area where the paper was rubbed or skiffed off somehow. So use really watered down paint if you're going to do something like that with very little color in it, and the fibers will just soak up the color. Why do you move around so much? Well, you have to, because that paper gets wet and then it gets fragile. So you have to move around and let it dry a bit. So it's not done until it's done. So there it is. I think I'll take that. Looks pretty good. Blended in good enough for me. Matte clear Rust-Oleum spray on top of my leaves. I don't want my paint to run. I heat dried it, but I'm going to be cautious. Then I'll put the top sealer on, polycrylic in matte. Now I am going to use a sponge for this, and you do have to go slow and careful when you have molds on the top of your piece. If you get any bubbling, you need to have an extra brush so you can smooth that out. 3 coats on the decoupage, 2 coats on everything else, and we should be completed. There it was. Here it is now, guys. Another piece completed, and I think I will put this one in my Etsy store, which is Petulski Collectibles. I am a brand ambassador for Made by Marley, and that is the paper I used. There is their website, and we have a group called the Flippin' Bunch where we do a live every Wednesday at 7. So come and join us. We've got Kat from Owling Dog Design, me from Diys-by-Dar, Crystal the Crafty Creech, and Levon from Statement Designs. Please like and subscribe. It would really help me out, and I will see you guys on the next one.